These are the 7 brutal truths about starting an online business that I wish somebody had told me. These are obstacles that I have personally come up against on my journey, and I know many people do as well, and they really slowed things down a lot for me simply because I didn't know any better at the time. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Chad from Purely Remote, the channel that brings you all the tips, tools, and resources for you to grow a successful online business. And I know this video might be a little different to the normal content about tips and strategies that I put on the channel, but I wanted to make this video for 2 main reasons. One, for someone who is new to the online space and just about started an online business so that they can mentally prepare themselves for what's to come. There are going to be ups, there are going to be downs, so this is the video to already prepare you before the time for when those moments come. So you'll know what is really involved when it comes to starting and growing a successful online business. And 2, for someone who has already started their online business and kind of just feels stuck with where it's at right now. Hopefully this video can give you some perspective shifts or perspective changes, because sometimes honestly, that's all that you need. So let's get into it. Starting with number 1. It is impossible to grow a $10,000 business off a $10 investment. When I first started with my online business, it was through a $7 course, an affiliate marketing course. And when I went through the course, I honestly thought that this investment of $7 was going to get me everything I could dream of. I'm going to make all the money I could possibly imagine, and it's going to answer all of my questions. And after months and months of struggling is when I actually came to realize that I'm not going to get very far off just investing $7 in myself. And the truth is that a $7 or a $10 or even a $50 course is only going to get you a $7 or a $10 or a $50 education. So you can imagine that you wouldn't be able to go very far off a small piece of knowledge of an entire industry that you've got from that entry-level course. And how I started looking at it, and a great way to think about it, is that instead of thinking that these types of entry-level courses or beginner-friendly courses are going to get you to the end goal, think of them something to give you a taste of the industry that you're getting into, or a specific strategy that you're getting into. And then if you want to learn more about it, of course there are other courses and resources that you can invest in. They cost a little more, but you are going to be getting more information and more valuable knowledge from those additional courses. And this is one of those things that when you think about it, you realize how obvious this actually is. The second truth is that you will fail a lot. And that is simply because not everybody is an industry unicorn. And my personal experience with this was a course that I bought in the past. There was a student of that course who made, it was like $100,000 in her first 4 months. And she was a beginner. And obviously in my head, I was like, this stuff is magic. This is the golden ticket. And I realized slowly but surely that that is not going to be the case for me. I have to put in a lot more work. But I also noticed on top of that is that was the same experience for most of the people who were part of that program. Now, I'm not saying the program itself wasn't good. I'm just saying that not everyone is going to have those exceedingly high results just right off the bat. Now, I can't take credit for this. It's something that I learned from Alex Hormozi, but a great way to think about this is pretend you are playing a game with a friend and each of you are given a die. One die has 20 sides, the other die has 200 sides. Each die has one side that is green and all the other sides are red. Now, the aim of the game is to roll green as many times as possible. And the rules of the game are simple. Every time you roll green, one of the red sides change their color to green. And then you roll again. If you roll red, nothing happens and you roll again. And the only way that you can lose at this game is if you stop rolling. So you and your friend go ahead and you start rolling. And you hit red after red and your friend hits a green. And you guys keep rolling and you just hitting reds. Then you hit a green. You notice that the more you roll, the more times you actually start seeing green. Almost to the point where at the beginning, you only started seeing red. You saw a green once in a while. And now you are seeing more greens than anything else. And eventually you get to a point where it seems like you are only rolling green. And your friend looks over in frustration because they are not getting as many green throws. And they make up a bunch of excuses to the point where they just think to themselves that this game is rigged and they quit. And so they lose. And the real moral of that story is that it doesn't matter how many sides each die had. What mattered more was that even through the reds or through the failures, you kept going. And because you kept going, you kept seeing more greens. More reds started turning into greens, which naturally would mean that you would be getting more green streaks, aka more wins. So the big takeaway is that no matter how many times you fail, you just gotta keep going. There's a solution to every problem. It just depends on how committed you are to getting that particular problem solved. If you want to see the reward, you have to go through the struggle. And that takes me right into the next truth, the 30 minutes a day myth. And I'm sure you've seen this before, where there are certain businesses or a course or a resource or something that will show you how you can build this massively successful business by only working for 30 minutes a day. Now that is not a complete lie, because it could actually get to that point if you stick with it long enough. Because the person who is teaching the course, who has created the course, has already built up momentum within their business to be able to only spend 30 minutes a day on it if they wanted to and still have it be successful. So if you come in as, let's say, a complete beginner, it is naturally going to take a lot more time, effort, and energy to get going with your business. I like to imagine building or growing a business as pushing a boulder across a straight road. So from the point of it standing still, for you to even move it a few inches or a few centimeters, it is going to take a lot of energy and a lot of effort. But as you keep going, it'll start gaining momentum, almost to the point where all you need to do is just do that little bit compared to at the beginning. But that momentum can only come after that hard work. So once that boulder has the momentum, aka putting in 30 minutes a day where you only need to nudge it along, it will happen. But at the beginning, to get it moving is going to take a lot of energy, effort, and work from your side to actually start building everything up. And the fourth truth is about the lonely road of entrepreneurship. And the thing with this is that when you start a business and you commit to making a major change in your life, this is like you starting off a new season of your life. And so when it comes to the old habits, or even a lot of times the old people from the old season of your life, will fall away because they don't match up to the new season. If you are truly committed to making a success out of your business, you are going to be declining a lot of invitations to a whole lot of things. And that is because you are prioritizing your business over everything else. And nothing is wrong with that. It's just that some of those things or some of those people from that old season just doesn't match with your new season. Natalie once said to me that people come into your life in 3 different ways: for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. And when you start with something new and you are improving yourself and making a better life for yourself or your family, that is going to take sacrifices. And so when you start noticing that certain things or certain people start getting cut out of your life, it's just because those things have just been in your life for a season. And you are moving on to a new season, a better season. So good for you. And truth number 5, you are not as good as you think you are. Let's say you're just starting out with your business. You have all this energy and enthusiasm around it. You invest in a course so that you can start learning. And after that course, you feel like you own the world. You know everything there is to know about the industry. And sooner or later, you come to find that that's not really the case. Personally, I had this as well. After that $7 course that I spoke about earlier, 4 days later, got the first sale. It wasn't a very big sale, but I thought I know all the answers. And soon after that, things weren't going so well anymore. So I realized that I don't actually know how much I don't know. And it's really just all a matter of putting your ego aside and being open to being coached or to constantly learning more. You'll be surprised that every single person you meet, there is something that you can learn from them. And number 6 is that value is subjective. Now, of course, you want to put out valuable content to your audience or to your potential customers. And the thing is that we constantly chase perfection. We spend way too much time trying to think of the perfect post to write or the perfect video to create. And once we do post it or upload the video, we don't get the response that we were expecting because we were like, this is going to be a game changer, and everyone doesn't see it the same way. And the truth is that you don't get to decide what's valuable. The person who is watching the video or the person who is reading or sees your content, they are the judge of whether or not your content is valuable. So stop chasing perfectionism because it is only holding you back from being able to do more. And this video is a perfect example of that. I made the video so that I can give valuable information to you, but when you watch the video, you might not see it the same way. Obviously, I hope that you do see it as valuable, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. And the 7th brutal truth, and this one is my personal favorite, is to remind yourself that every day is a $1 million day. Imagine that I just gave you $1 million in cash right now. How would that make you feel? I bet that there's almost nothing that could bring your day down or that could spoil your mood. Someone could cut you off in traffic. You could not have closed the sale that you've been working on. But having that $1 million, I'm pretty sure that none of those things will actually ruin your mood. In other words, you would be at your peak state for who knows how long. Now let's say I gave you $1 million in cash or even $10 million in cash, but this time you cannot wake up tomorrow and that you cannot give the money away to anybody else. Would you still take it? I don't bet very much, but if I was to bet, I'll put my money on not really. That simply means that you value waking up tomorrow more than $10 million. So the fact that you woke up this morning is already worth more than $10 million. So any struggle that you're going through or any failure that you're feeling shouldn't bring you down, because if $1 million could make you feel like you conquered the world, you woke up. That's already worth more than 10 million. And I'm not saying that this is going to make you have perfect days. You are going to have some days that don't go so great, but guess what? You are going to hopefully tomorrow wake up to another $10 million day. So treat it that way. Having a bad day or feeling stuck is not a good enough reason to just give it all up and quit. All you need to do is keep rolling the dice so that you can see more greens. The people who have been able to grow successful businesses or successful online businesses are the ones who came up to obstacles, came up to failure, and they are the ones who kept rolling and pushed through. So throughout every day, constantly ask yourself, am I having $1 million day? And I hope this video gave you some valuable insights and some good truths to consider and to think about, because I personally noticed that some of these is not what a lot of people like speaking about. And if one of these truths stood out to you more than all of the others, or there was something that kind of just clicked while you were watching this video, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. So let me know. And if you did find this video valuable, I would be super grateful if you could leave it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe and enable the notifications so that you can be the first to know every time a new video is added to the channel. And remember to stay bold, stay driven, stay unstoppable. I'll see you in the next video.